Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is Michael Fletcher alongside my partner in crime for the moment, uh, the Phenom, Michael Bullock. We're still awaiting Dee Woodson, and Anthony Florio is possibly gonna be coming in a little late due to the fact that he's got some technical issues on his end, which is beyond his control. So hopefully we'll get Anthony here tonight. Hopefully Dee Woodson will be here tonight as well. But until then, basically the two men that went to Smackdown Live in Providence is going to be running a two-man weave at the moment. So myself and the Phenom, we're going to be recapping Smackdown Live. That just went down from the Oracle Arena, the home of the NBA World Champions, Golden State Warriors. We had an amazing show, to say the very least, and myself and Michael Bullock will get right into that. And we started it off with a promo by Shane McMahon. Basically, Shane McMahon, talking about what happened to Kevin Owens and what happened with his father, Vince McMahon. And basically, that said it. He felt like he went too far, taking out his father, and when you mess with one of the McMahons, you mess with all of the McMahons. And basically, he's saying that, he's sitting at home with his children, watching somebody that he loves get beaten down right in front of them by a coward, calling Kevin Owens a coward, and said that the McMahon family reached out with righteous vengeance, and he has condemned him to a ruthless beating by his hands and continue to condemn them for a lifetime of pain in the upcoming Hell in a Cell match. And if you know Shane McMahon and his history of being in a Hell in a Cell, he is very, whatever with Shane, he will definitely put his body on the line. He will risk everything to get that righteous vengeance, as he say. And at Hell in a Cell, this could be a show stealer, to say the very least. Because remember, the last time Shane McMahon was in a Hell in a Cell match was at WrestleMania 32 when he fought The Undertaker. And Mike Bullock, you and I and Anthony know about this because of that death-defying leap, that 20-foot jump from the top of the cell through an announce table. And it's still one of the biggest highlights of WrestleMania 32, and still to this day, one of the biggest moments in professional wrestling history. So what is he going to do? We'll find out. But I really loved what he did. It was short. It was sweet. It was straight to the point. No thrills, no nothing. He went right after Owens, condemned the actions that he did against his father, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and told him straight up, I am going to hurt you. I am going to beat you. I am going to tear you to shreds, because it's no longer about me. It's because you messed with family. And when you mess with family, there has to be consequences because of that. It's no longer just a WWE thing. It's no longer a SmackDown Live thing. This got personal. This got real. And you went there, Kevin Owens, when you took out my father 1 week ago, and there is gonna be hell to pay for what you did. With that said, Michael Bullock, come on in, my friend. Give me your thoughts on the segment.
Yes, Fletch. I mean, I basically like this segment, and Shane McMahon, like you said, he was basically short and sweet to the point with the segment, and basically condemning Kevin Owens for what he did to his father last week. And he said, me and my father, we've had our issues in the past, but at the end of the day, he's still my father, and I love him. And me and my kids, we had to sit back and watch you, Kevin Owens, in a cowardly way, take out my father, and there's going to be swift vengeance come Hell in a Cell when I take you straight to hell. And like you said, this is no longer WWE business. This is not Smackdown Live business. This has just gotten very personal because you mess with the McMahons, there are going to be severe consequences, and I'm going to take you straight to hell at Hell in a Cell. I think this is definitely going to be a sleeper fight of the night candidate here, and like you said, Fletch, we know Shane McMahon's history with the Hell in a Cell, especially like you mentioned with that death-defying leap at WrestleMania 32 when he faced The Undertaker. So, and don't be surprised that at Hell in a Cell we might see something like that again, and maybe this time he connects straight to the black heart of Kevin Owens. Will it happen? We're just going to have to wait and find out in 3 weeks' time. So, this to me was the second best segment of the night. There was one segment I thought was better. We'll definitely get into that. So with that being said, let's just move on.
All right. Fortunately, Michael Bullock, I'm afraid I got some bad news. Anthony Florio has just told me that he is out. He thinks that his computer is dead, stuck on a lock screen. The sign-in screen's nowhere in sight, and he is out. And Dee Dee Woodson is saying she might be out. She's having issues with the trying to get on.
So it looks like it's going to be you and me.
It looks like it's going to be you and I tonight, and this is equally bad. And this is equally bad because if Anthony cannot get his
in time for
computer
Thursday
worked, I might have to come in as a relief host and take over for not only College Football Thursday, but maybe NFL Friday. I mean, we might have some major issues on our hands here. So,
and don't forget the No Mercy preview
and recap on Sunday. So I mean,
yeah.
this has some major ramifications. Hopefully, everything will be straightened out within the next couple of days. Yeah, we're definitely on a wait and see pattern right now, and until then, we're just gonna plug right along, and it looks like it's just gonna be you and I, Bullock. So get ready, my friend.
And how appropriate since it was you and me that went to Smackdown Live.
Yeah, it comes full circle, my friend. It comes full circle. All right, so the next match we had was Randy Orton went one-on-one with Aiden English. Orton won the fight in 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Then Rusev came out basically saying, you know what, Orton, I was a national hero to my country in Bulgaria, and you beat me in literally 10 seconds, and you made me a disgrace. You disgraced me. You disgraced my entire family. We're not even. We can't even see our faces in our own country. So I'm gonna fight you, and I'm gonna get that win back, so that myself and my family's legacy will be restored in Bulgaria. Well, Orton took the fight, said, you know what, you want to mess with me? All right, bring it on. The next thing we know, in 38 seconds, Rusev beat Orton. Major upset there, but before we do that, Michael Bullock, why don't you give me your thoughts about the fight with Aiden English? And then I guess we could call this a segment. I don't think we can really give it much of an NA here, but at least give us your thoughts about the Aiden English Randy Orton match.
All right. I thought it was an okay match for the short amount of time that we got. I'm going to give it about 2 stars for the effort here. I mean, I thought Aiden English definitely brought the fight to Randy Orton. I mean, and I'll be quite honest, going into this match, I thought this was going to be a cutout or really short match. But give credit to Aiden English for hanging in there. So, but in the end, it was the Viper who got the victory. And then, like you said, with Rusev coming out saying he wanted to avenge his loss from SummerSlam, where he lost in seconds. Well, Randy Orton said, "You know what? Bring it on." So he comes in, referee rings the bell, and then all of a sudden, as Randy Orton hits the ropes, he was distracted by Aiden English, and Rusev hits the kick, and then all of a sudden he gets the win here. So that, to me, I'll say, like you basically said, I think it's more of a segment than more than a match. So, but in all honesty, the match between Aiden English and Randy Orton was better than this. So 2 stars for me on the Randy Orton Aiden English match. So, Fletch, I'm going to give it to you.
Absolutely, Michael Bullock. You're absolutely right. I could give this about 2 to 2.25 stars. I thought this was actually a really good match. I was really impressed with Aiden English and Randy Orton. And once again, Aiden English, 3 weeks in a row, has had very impressive performances. It looks like they're starting to give him a little bit of a build here on SmackDown Live, which I really like. That land of opportunity. One of these new guys, a younger talent, a good talent, somebody that I like in the business, and he's getting the opportunity. I love it. I love it. I think it's really good. Yes, you need to make Orton look really strong here and keep him relevant. But then the Rusev thing, nice win for him. I know it definitely came at the expense of Randy Orton, and I know a lot of people are going to, kind of say whatever about it, but I don't mind that they did it this way. This actually redeems Rusev a little bit. He can now say that I'm a hero again for my countrymen in Bulgaria. They're happy with me again and the whole 9 yards. And, that it's going to be like a national celebration and whatnot. And Orton's going to say, all right, you got lucky because Aiden English stuck his nose where it didn't belong. And I'm going to finish you at Hell in a Cell. So you can already see them planting the seeds for for a Randy Orton versus Rusev showdown at Hell in a Cell. Fair enough. No problem. I like to see what they're going to do with Aiden English, though, because that could be very interesting. That could be very interesting. But, uh, so we'll see what happens. So let's go on with the next thing that we had, which was Jinder Mahal cutting another promo, this time on Shinsuke Nakamura. All right, look, I get it. I get what they're doing. I understand why they're doing this. It just doesn't make any. It does nothing for me. I'm sorry. Jinder Mahal poking fun at Nakamura. Just a whole bunch of other things. I really didn't care too much about it, to say the very least. So I'm not going to really dignify this with any type of reaction. So, Mike Bullock, I'm just going to let you.
Yeah, I really could care less about this. I mean, it really did nothing for me either. And I hate to say this, Fletch. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to this title match at Hell in a Cell. After what we saw here, and yeah, I mean continuing to poke fun at Shinsuke Nakamura, yeah, don't like it one bit. And Fletch, when me and Florio had our chat tonight, I was bringing up the fact, like, during the segment, I was like, I wish we could bring back the facepalm bear thing that Anthony Florio brought up one time with the It says facepalm bear. Even this bear thinks that's ridiculous, and it was indeed ridiculous. And there was another thing that and Fletch, you know this one, something you know. You with the picture of you with the towel over your head.
Oh no!
Because that's how I felt about this.
Yeah.
I was like, really, Jinder Mahal. Ugh. I got nothing more to say.
Yeah, I think the word is cringeworthy is what we witnessed here tonight. But
there were times I almost wanted to do that. I wanted to put a towel over my head and like, ugh.
And quite frankly, I would not blame you. I would not blame you at all. All right.
And he's our WWE champion. Give me a freaking break. I mean, it's like you're tarnishing the title with this last week and now this week.
Yep.
Gosh.
It is. All right. So the next thing we had.
Just move on, Fletch, before I really explode.
All right. Everybody go to your neutral corners. And actually, as a matter of fact, we actually got a very special guest. Dee Dee Woodson has arrived.
We got her here.
Yeah, well, actually, there was some issues with. She was actually having Google issues, and Dee Dee, I understand it because trust me, love, I've had those issues before. So I know you probably.
I ended up having to go mobile because for some reason it's not connecting on my computer.
Oh wow! All right. Well, glad to have you. Glad to have you as always, my dear. And
yeah, let's catch her up.
Yeah. So, Dee Dee, we're gonna just catch you up real quick here. Just give me your thoughts about the promo by Shane McMahon. What did you think about what he said to begin the show tonight?
Are you there?
I think she's trying to talk. I think Callie's kind of in the way there. Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
I guess it's because I tried to put my headset in after I already started.
Okay.
This for one is Mr. Tiger. He's the new addition.
Oh, that's Tiger. I thought that was Callie. I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
No, this is Tiger. Callie's actually asleep over there, if you can see her.
Aw.
Yeah, and then, of course, there's Kevin.
Hi.
What's up, Kevin?
But, yeah, Callie's asleep, and this is Tiger. As for the start of the show with the promo, yeah, it was, in my opinion, spot on. He said exactly what needed to be said, did exactly what needed to be done. I pretty much said the last time I was on that this was going to be fuel for Shane, having Vince beat up, and I was right. It was fuel for Shane, and he's going to pretty much unleash on the next pay-per-view, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right. We also moved on from there as we had Randy Orton going up against Aiden English. Orton won the match in 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Then Rusev came out, challenged Randy Orton to a fight, and Rusev beat Randy Orton in 38 seconds. So we did a 2-for-1 here. So just give me your thoughts about that.
Well, Kevin goes 2 thumbs down. Okay. Definitely Rusev and Orton is definitely a dud. I mean, because that was too short. Orton had just got through fighting a match. There was no point in having that the same night. As for English and Orton, that one was a little bit better. I'm going to probably give it maybe a 2 on that one. So go ahead and move on.
All right. And then the next thing that we had was we we talked about Jinder Mahal and his promo on Shinsuke Nakamura, but I'm gonna save you that. I'm not gonna let you because I know you probably would go on a rant or something. So
I pretty much agree with the audience on that one. That they went too far. It was stupid, and
yeah,
I mean, it was the same freaking picture over and over and over again of Nakamura. So, yeah.
of Nakamura.
Yeah, I mean that was stupid. So yeah, move on.
All right. So the next thing we had, and this is actually now we're all caught up.
Okay.
So it was AJ Styles cutting a promo, and we actually had Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles, but technically the fight never got off the ground because Corbin went on full on attack mode, tried to beat down AJ Styles before the bell even rang. Then Ty Dillinger came out and jumped Baron Corbin. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Ty Dillinger got himself involved and caused Corbin to injure his ankle. So therefore, the fight never happened. This was a no match, but we can call this at least a segment. So we'll just bunch this as an actual segment more than anything else. And Didi, I'm gonna give it to you. So if this was a match, this was a complete NA. However, let's talk about it as a non-wrestling segment. What did you think about this?
It was pretty good. For a segment, I would say it was pretty good. Because you're building the storyline here of these three guys. Although it is getting a little old having the interruption constantly between Corbin and Dillinger every time they try to have a match with AJ. But of course, like you said, this one never got off the ground. So yeah, and then Corbin trying to pull off this, I sprained my ankle out there. Yeah, right. The match, he also said that he was going to win the title. Well, how can you win the title if you attack before the bell even rang? I mean, come on, give me a break. So not much more I have to say about it. One of you guys take it.
I'll take it for a spin. Yeah, absolutely right. This was absolutely it played to what needed to be done, and that was you don't tip the hand just yet, and now this just opened up a possibility for a triple threat. Like now we can say Ty Dillinger, welcome. Now you're fully immersed in this storyline now because you went from maybe getting a couple of lucky breaks, getting the opportunity. Now Corbin has made you get in. He's brought you into this fray. Now with you jumping Corbin tonight, there is no doubt in my mind that Daniel Bryan has to make this a triple threat. And that if you do it that way, this is even better because that means a fresh face in Ty Dillinger gets a golden opportunity. Then you also got Baron Corbin, who's been right now in that mix all year for, he's had some great moments, but then it looks like he really lost his way when he lost the Money in the Bank, when he lost the contract and was unable to win the WWE title. He went tail spinning. Now it looks like, all right, it looks like they're going to let him go after AJ Styles. AJ is, without a doubt, one of the brightest stars right now on SmackDown Live. And without a doubt, he is the face that runs the place. You need that opportunity. So I like what I see. We'll see where it goes from here, but nothing more to say. So, Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, well, first, of course, Kevin Owens. Well, I meant AJ Styles basically cut a promo. First, he addressed the whole thing that happened with Kevin Owens and Mr. McMahon, and basically showing his support for the McMahon family, and saying that that you know what, Kevin Owens, you're not getting out of this with what Shane has got planned for you at Hell in a Cell. So then he goes on to talk about Baron Corbin, and then yeah, the match never really happened. I mean, and then basically you had Ty Dillinger coming in and getting some of his payback from what happened last week. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to lead to maybe a triple threat for the U.S. title, maybe at Hell in a Cell. So just gonna have to wait and see how it all plays out. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So I'm just gonna toss it to you, Fletch.
So the next thing that we had, guys, was basically it was Charlotte Flair. Charlotte made her return to SmackDown Live for the first time since her father was sick. We all know what happened to Ric Flair about a few weeks ago. She said it was good to be back. Thanked everyone for the love, the prayers, and the thoughts when Flair was sick. But said that he was making a comeback. And, you know, she said something that was very, 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 very true. And that is that life is fragile, that it happens so fast, and it learns that she needs to make moments count, which is very true in real life. In WWE, does not matter what it is very true. Life is fragile, and we have to make every day, every minute, every second count. Love one another, love friends, love family. A great message by Charlotte. Then interrupted by Natalya, you know, and Natalya being that me first, you know, saying how she's proud to be the, you know, WWE's first celebration of women, you know, and the whole 9 yards. Talked about the awesomeness that we actually saw during the Mae Young Classic. As a matter of fact, just breaking today, WWE has announced that they have signed Shayna Baszler, who is the runner-up in the competition, one of the members of the MMA Four Horsewomen, which is Ronda Rousey's crew. She has now officially signed with WWE. Then we had an interruption by Becky Lynch. Then Tamina and Lana interrupted, and Naomi also interrupted. Once it was all said and done and the whole 9 yards, and the next thing we know, my man Daniel Bryan, well, I should say Michael Bullock's man Daniel Bryan, shows up and basically said, all right, I've seen enough. I want to do this. This is what we're going to do. Tonight, in our main event, that's right, SmackDown Women got to main event the SmackDown show. Big ups to you, SmackDown Live. But tonight's main event will be Naomi, Becky Lynch, Tamina Snuka, and Charlotte Flair. And the winner of that match will get to face Natalya at Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Women's title. This just got serious, and this just got real. I loved it. And the thing was, I don't mind the fact that, you know, it was great that they acknowledged Ric Flair. It's great that they acknowledged that he's doing better, that he's on recovery. But what made this great was the storyline progression. And that is, now we finally got the emphasis on the SmackDown Women's title again. We got the emphasis. Now that Charlotte Flair is back, you can see they really are pushing the SmackDown Women into the forefront. I mean, they gave him the main event spot of the evening. How huge is that? I mean, we've been begging for the opportunity, begging for the chance to see the SmackDown women get elevated again. And in one found swoop, they nailed it. They got it. So how's that going to turn out? Who's the number one contender? You got to stick around a little bit later this evening right here on this show to find out. Nothing more to say. This was great. I loved it. Non-wrestling segment, one of the segments of the night. I'm not calling it the segment of the night. With that said, let's give it up to Michael Bullock. So, Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, this was definitely another one of the segments of the night here. Yeah, I mean, it was good to see Charlotte Flair back. I mean, after being there for her father when he wasn't feeling well, and yeah, it was like I said, it was good to see her, and of course, as Michael Fletcher knows, and of course Anthony Florio knows, I got a chance to see Ric Flair up close in person at that big time wrestling they had at McCoy Stadium, and yeah, I mean, it was like really good to see him, and basically, I mean, what Charlotte talked about was really true, and then basically you had Natalya come out and talk about her role when it comes to the women, and then you get Becky Lynch coming out, and then you have Naomi coming out, and Natalya looked like she was through with it. She was getting ready to leave, and then of course the yes man Daniel Bryan comes out and says, "You know what? Tonight in our main event, we're going to have ourselves a fatal four-way to determine who will face Natalya for the SmackDown Women's title at Hell in a Cell." And I love, I mean, like you said, now with Charlotte back, they're really trying to put the focus on the women of SmackDown Live. I mean, to put them in the main event, major up to SmackDown Live. So, yeah, this was definitely another one of the segments of the night. So, Dee Woodson, how do you feel about this?
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or not, because I don't know if my phone's muted or not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, for one, the one that waved, that was Cody. He's getting ready to go bed.
Hello.
And then, of course, Tiger's still sitting here. Yeah, it was definitely one of the segments of the night. Loved the update on Rick, but loved even more the fact, like Fletch said, this was a storyline progression. And the SmackDown's notorious for giving us the storyline progressions. And, you know, that's what makes matches, is having your storyline. And feeling that, you know, making sure the fans are glued to it because of that. So, not much more I have to say about it other than, you know, it was a great segment, great way to see them get the ladies all involved. Only one I'm not crazy about being out there, of course, is Lana, but we all know how managers go. So, not much more I have to say about that. So, let's yours.
All right. So with that said, we're just gonna move right on, and the next thing we had was a tag team match, as it was the Hype Bros going up against the New Day with the Usos at ringside. The winners of the bout in 8 minutes and 11 seconds was the New Day. They defeat the Hype Bros. So I gotta say it, Michael Bullock, it's yours, man. The New Day looked good tonight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was I thought it was an all right match here. Uh, What was the time of the fall, Fletch?
I had 8 minutes and 11 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought it was a good match. I'm gonna say probably 2 to maybe 2.25 stars. If I'm gonna give that. Yeah, I mean, I thought they really made the Hype Bros look good in defeat, and obviously you saw afterwards with the backstage segment, it looks like the Hype Bros are heading for a breakup. But as you heard before the match, the New Day is going to be defending the SmackDown tag team titles at Hell in a Cell because the Usos invoked their rematch clause. So, yep. So it's basically another win for your 4-time SmackDown WWE World Tag Team Champions. And you know why, Fletch?
Because
New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
And before DD Woodson, before you go, no, there was no hip thrusting or anything like that done here tonight as well. Just to let you know.
Yeah, we didn't see that, so nothing to worry about. And
yep.
I swear, DD Woodson, I think the cat would have had something to say about that if Big E did that.
I don't know. I think the cat was definitely trying to get into the action right now. I think he liked it, Bullock.
He's trying to attack my phones. Now, Callie, she might like it, but he's only 5 months, so he's still very inquisitive right now. So
probably like, what's going on here?
He's looking at this thing like, ooh, what's this pretty little toy here?
Yeah.
And what are those two guys there?
I don't think Tiger can see us. Remember, we got our cameras muted.
Yeah, for Bullock, we got a little green person, and Fletch, of course, we have your Fletch is burning up there. So yeah, that's all he can see out of there. But he sees himself, so he's kind of trying to figure it out. But, I pretty much kind of agree with the rating on the match, though. So I'm not going to hound too much more onto it. So.
All right. Very well. Fair enough, guys. Next thing we had was the promo by Kevin Owens. Basically, via satellite is what they said here. Pretty much, I guess, not saying, pretty much said that he respects Vince McMahon. Pretty much went with that Shane did horrible things to him, and that he was going to make one more apology to the people who watches the Hell in a Cell, basically saying that what he did to Vince is in small scale to what he's going to do to Shane. I don't know what else there is to say. So, who gets to lead off on this? Who gets it? I guess it's Dee Dee Woodson. So, Dee Dee, give me your thoughts about this.
All right. Touchscreen phones, wonderful things. Okay. I kind of expected the promo the way to come out the way it did. Saying, "Well, I'm sorry I attacked Vince McMahon, but Shane, you made me do it." As Kevin would say, it sounded a lot like a Hillary Clinton promo where she's always blaming everybody else. Nope, not to say that I'm a supporter of her or Trump. Don't want to get into politics, but he has a point. She does blame everybody else for her faults, and so does Kevin Owens. How in the heck is it Shane McMahon's fault for him to nearly destroy his dad? That don't make sense. I know it's all storyline progression and stuff, but own up to your mistakes, dude. Don't sit there and try to pawn off the blame on everybody else. So, but all in all, I mean, it was a fair segment. Just a lot of storyline building on there, but also a lot of nonsense. You know, because like I said, he's putting the blame on Shane, and of course he says, well, he's going to destroy Shane. This is about as much as Shane says he's going to destroy Kevin Owens, but the thing is, Kevin gave Shane fuel, and Shane really hasn't given Kevin Owens as much fuel as he has Shane, so not much more I have to say about it, so I'll toss it back to you guys.
All right, very well. I thought this was as cookie cutter and as typical as we expected Kevin Owens to be. He made it very clear how much the angle is for the rest of the show. You know, it basically was everything you wanted it to be. Solid. It hit the right marks. I'm interested in Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens now. They got me sold. Now, what I want to see in the next couple of weeks, you know, maybe Owens comes back. We go a little bit there. I don't know. But I definitely like what I saw. That was amazing. That was actually as good as it could have been. And I got nothing more to say about that. So, Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I thought this was a good promo here by Kevin Owens. I mean, basically trying to say, you know, Shane McMahon, it was, well, trying to quote unquote apologize, and then saying, oh, Shane McMahon, you're the one who made me attack your father. I mean, trying to blame someone else for it. I mean, that's the perfect work of a heel here. So, yeah. And then he said, I apologize to the fans for watching on the WWE Network of what I'm gonna do to Shane McMahon at Hell in a Cell inside that demonic structure. So, I got a vested interest in this match at Hell in a Cell. So, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So, Fletch, let's just move on.
All right, I'm going to cut out here, and this was Dolph Ziggler basically poking fun at Triple H, poking fun at Shawn Michaels, poking fun at D-Generation X. I'm not even going to let you guys deal with that. We're just going to toss that out to the side, and let's get into what I believe was the fight of the night. It was the women's match, the match that was going to decide it all. The number one contender for the Smackdown women's, the number one contender does determine for the Smackdown women's title. The winner of the fight gets the golden opportunity to fight for the title against Natalya at Hell in a Cell, the pay-per-view, and the competitors were Tamina Snuka, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Charlotte Flair. And when it was all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the bout, the new number one contender for the SmackDown Championship will be none other than Charlotte Flair. She wins the match at 9 minutes and 48 seconds. And I'm gonna lead it off here. Fight of the night. Obviously, this was good. This was solid. I like it. I liked what they did. I like how this outcome went because they got the right person. Obviously, we knew it was going to be Charlotte Flair. We all kind of had a feeling Charlotte was going to be the one. She was going to be the one to get the shot at the belt and everything else. Once she got into the opportunity to get back into the fray, and not only did she get into the fray, they nailed it. They gave us a good, quality, solid main event. good TV quality match too. Now there was a commercial that in the way, but even after the commercial, it didn't take away. The finish was really strong. I loved how everybody utilized their moments. Charlotte with the moonsault. We had a disarmer. Naomi basically had doing those lethal kick combination. You saw Tamina Snuka fly through the air that had the crowd absolutely marking for her for once in her career. When she did that, the Superfly Jimmy Snuka splash, big splash. And to see the ending for this, to see the ending for the match and the way that this ended, I got nothing bad to say about the fight. This was, to me, 2.5 to 2 3/4, maybe even 3 stars. I think you could be flirting with 3, but fight of the night, great match. That's what SmackDown Live needed in the women's division. And now we got Charlotte versus Natalya at Hell in a Cell. This is a great thing. 2 proven, absolute, bona fide wrestlers going at it for the title 1-on-1. I love it. The last time these 2 ladies fought each other for a championship was the NXT women's title, and that match was a really good match. It was a great battle, a great title fight, and Charlotte walked away with the belt that night. Could history repeat itself? Could Charlotte once again become, well, for the first time ever, SmackDown Women's title holder? Or does Natalya continue her reign as champion? But remember, be careful, folks. There is a Money in the Bank contract out there. Carmella has it. She hasn't cashed it in yet. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Could Hell in a Cell be the night she cashes it in? We'll wait and see. But for me, fight of the night, Mike Bullock, is yours.
Well, I'll tell you, there's one person that's hoping that doesn't happen, and that's our own Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson. That's hoping that doesn't happen, and basically, she's hoping that the same result that happens with Baron Corbin will happen with Carmella. And if I know her, she'll definitely be going, yes, 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 yes. I can guarantee you that. But anyway. I digress. So, but anyway, yeah, I agree. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. Definitely a good solid TV quality main event here. No surprise that Charlotte was gonna win this one, but yeah, I mean, this should be a good match at Hell in a Cell. I mean, 2 talented women's wrestlers who are certainly no strangers to one another. I mean, they faced each other so many times before. The first NXT takeover when it was Natalya and Charlotte for the NXT women's title. Of course, at Payback when they had, well, of course, Charlotte had her, of course, Natalya had her uncle, but this would be an opportunity for Charlotte to become a first-time SmackDown Women's Champion, because she's been the Raw Women's Champion before. So, could Charlotte make history? But like you said, we have to keep an eye out for Carmella. But yeah, I mean, I already stated what Dee Woodson is hoping for, that Carmella fails just like Baron Corbin did, and of course, me and Fletcher were there for that. So, nothing else to say. Dee Woodson, your thoughts on the main event?
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating, and I think Callie here would probably go and clog Carmella's bones if she wins the title. But right now, she's kind of tired. But anyway, yeah, I agree with the rating, and I'm very glad to actually see the women in the main event position, and I would love to see them even push it one step further by the time Hell in a Cell comes and make the match actually in a Hell in a Cell like they did on Raw. And yeah, I really hope Carmella doesn't cash it in, but I was very glad not to see her tonight or even hear her name on the show.
The thing is, Dee Dee, there was a little something on WWE.com exclusive with her and James Ellsworth.
I'm glad I didn't watch it then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I advise to you right now, don't watch it, because you'll probably do like the facepalm bear thing, like this, or Fletcher with his towel over his head.
Oh yeah, I would do something.
And another thing, folks. I mean, if she does successfully cash in, she is going to go on a, well, not quite a profanity-laced tirade, but just a rant.
She's just too ladylike. She won't go on any profanity-laced rant.
And maybe that's the way Callie feels about Carmella. She's bored with her and deciding, I'm going to take a cat.
Yeah. Yeah, she's had a busy day today, putting up with little Tyke. So, and he's already gone to bed now. So now she's come out. So, but she's getting sleepy too.
It's only a matter of time before they both go out for the night. But no, I agree with that. So,
yeah.
All right. So you know what? Let's just get into the overall review. And Dee Dee, why don't you just go ahead? I know you need to get on out of here, so why don't you just lead off on our overall review?
Yeah, I am going to have to, because I gotta get up early in the morning and drive down at almost an hour to my son Michael's house to go watch Summer, which he has his own little announcement. If y'all don't follow me on Facebook or anything, Michael and his wife are expecting, will be Michael's first baby and Bridget's second. So they are officially pregnant. So, but as for the show, I'm actually going to shoot it here at about a 7.5 stars, because there was a lot of good information, a lot of good stuff. But then you had gender, and I would have shot it higher if it wasn't for Dolph and Jinder. I think they both pretty much kind of hey, get back here. They both kind of killed the momentum of the show. If let's put it this way, if the fans start chanting "You've gone too far," then you know the segment has bombed. And Jinder, the segment had bombed. And Dolph, yours bombed a long time ago too, because the fans kept chanting for CM Punk, and he don't even work for WWE. So, yeah, I pretty much think the fans stated what they thought of the two segments with those two. Just like Callie is now. She's stating her little disgust. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. But not because of storyline or anything, because the storyline was awesome tonight, and I would have shot it probably an 8.5 if it wasn't for the two extremely lousy segments. You know, even the AJ Styles thing was better than those two segments. And I mean, and it was even supposed to be a match that ended up not being a match. But it's that storyline progression. That's the only thing that keeps SmackDown, in my opinion, on top of Raw. So, other than that, I'll say goodnight. I will definitely be seeing you guys now on, I guess, Saturday for the pre-show, and then Sunday for the pay-per-view. So, good night, guys. I gotta go put Little Miss here to bed.
All right, good night, Dee Dee.
Good
Good night,
night.
Callie.
Say night night.
All right, so I'm gonna be very quick about it and give my 2 cents before you go ahead, Michael Bullock. And that is, I agree with Dee Dee Woodson. This was about a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a solid show. I think it was a good show. I think everything was um, as good as you could have done it, or as amazing as we thought, and it ended up being something better than expected. You know, solid segments, solid show. Nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you. What did you think?
Yeah, I'll give it about a 7 out of 10 as well. I mean, there were some good spots, but there, of course, you also had some bad as well. But other than that, I mean, the storyline progression really continues to go well when it comes to SmackDown Live. So, and trying to continue to build for Hell in a Cell. So, yeah, there's really nothing else for me to say. So, Fletch, if you're ready, I think it's time for your well, first off, since you weren't on the show last night, I think before you do your Mikey's mindset,
Well,
why
actually,
don't you
I
give
don't.
us?
I actually don't have a Mikey's mindset tonight. So
Oh,
actually, I was gonna close with this. I know where you're going.
yeah,
That was so we're gonna. So first off, I do want to say that we are closing the show. So everybody, thank you so much for everything, as always. I'm sorry Anthony Floyd could not be here tonight, and we're going to say this. Keep a very close eye on social media, guys, because I might have to take over on Thursday night for a College Football Thursday, so we don't know yet. We're just going to have to find out what's going on, and we'll go from there. But before we get on out of here, last night, I know Anthony and Mike Bullock got a chance to talk about this, and I don't know if Dee Dee did or not, but over the weekend, I think it was Sunday, news broke out that we lost Bobby the Brain Heenan. And Bobby Heenan was without a doubt one of the greatest managers and commentators that we've ever had in professional wrestling. Starting his days out in the AWA back in the early 1980s. He was one of the best managers I've ever seen, and one of the best bad guy managers we've ever had, because he was so powerful and so amazing and the whole 9 yards. But now he did suffer, cancer in the throat, and that really started a 12-year battle for him, which unfortunately culminated with his passing at the age of 71. And for me, Bobby Heenan was without a doubt one of the best heel managers we've ever had in professional wrestling. You can go with guys like Mr. Fuji, Frenchie Martin, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. For all you older generation, Classy Freddie Blassie. And what Bobby Heenan was so unique, and the way that he presented himself as as the evil manager, heel manager is what they said. He was a standard bearer of that, and I really think he was without a doubt one of the greatest to do what he did. But then to transition and become a heel commentator, which really there wasn't that many back in the day. But the one guy that he had to fill the shoes with was Jesse the Body Ventura. And what Bobby did was brought something to the table that I don't think none of us ever thought. And it was amazing what he did. I mean, to work with the likes of like Tony Schiavone, Gorilla Monsoon, which was an iconic pairing. A lot of people thought that there was no way that you could have topped Gorilla with Jesse the Body Ventura, but yet they did it with Gorilla and Bobby Heenan. And that crew was without a doubt the flag bearer for a number of years during the Federation days, where it really elevated not only Gorilla stock, but it also elevated Bobby as a duo or group. I think the only other duo that it comes remotely close to them was, I believe, was Jerry Lawler and good old JR Jim Ross during the Monday Night Raw era. I think after that pretty much solidified how great they were, how amazing they were, and the whole 9 yards. And I really am amazed at how this turned out, and I'm really I'm honored and humbled that I've gotten to see Bobby Heenan when he was in professional wrestling. Not only that, but even his days in WCW, when he was working with Tony Schiavone, that was such a great partnership and such a great duo that it really made me want to watch WCW even during those days, which was 1994, 1995, all the way up to when WCW folded. It was without a doubt a true blessing, an honor, and Bobby Heenan is one of a kind and will be missed by not only myself, by Mike Bullock, D.D. Woodson, and Anthony Florio, and even our very own Derek Ferrera, but he's going to be missed by wrestling fans all around the world. Definitely an outpouring of love and support to his wife, to his children, to the entire Heenan family, and with everything that happened within the last, I want to say, couple of days. Not only were you getting a lot of support from actual professional wrestlers, but you got a lot of love and a lot of support from just people from throughout the entire wrestling community, all around the world, from independent to Ring of Honor to TNA. Well, yeah, now to Impact Wrestling again, to members of the WWE family. We all are kind of feeling very, heartbroken about the news, and there's really nothing for us to say about that. So, Bobby, we're gonna miss you. We love you, man. Thank you. That's all I can say from the bottom of my heart is just thank you. Myself and Anthony Florio, we want to be like Gorilla and you, like JR and Jerry the King Lawler. We strive to be you. You are the reason why we love professional wrestling. And not only that, but you're the reason why myself and Anthony Florio, more than anything else, we love this business and we want to be like you guys as commentators, as broadcasters, in the business. So for that, we appreciate you, and I tip my cap for everything you did in the world of professional wrestling. You're going to be missed, my friend, and that's all I can say about that. All right, guys, so that's it for the night. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, D.D. Woodson. We don't know what's going to happen yet, so we're going to wait and see. All I can say is just keep your eyes peeled on social media, guys. That's all I can say about that till now. So until then, for Michael Bullock, D.D. Woodson, I'm Mike Fletcher. You know the routines. Hugs and hand pounds. We're out. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now, and bye-bye, everybody.